All right, welcome back to another little drawing session. It is a new month, so usually in my sketchbooks I will do like either a drawing or just something to note what month it is. I like to see, everything I drew in a month span, and I don't know, it's just fun. It's fun to be able to be like, oh, I drew, 10 or so, or 5 pages, or 2 pages in a month. It's just another form of kind of memory tracking almost, too. It's like, oh, I was really busy this month, so I only did 2 pages, and based on the imagery on the pages, I can kind of recall why I was busy or whatever. But anyway, I'm just going to do a little writing of July up top. I'm not really super stoked this month. So, as most people know, if you are an American, the 4th of July is coming up. It's a celebration of our independence from the British. But I don't know, I'm just not feeling it this year. Usually I'm a huge fan of 4th of July, mostly just for the aspect of like getting to do barbecue stuff and have people over and eat desserts. And then I like fireworks. I don't really like being at an event with fireworks with all the loud sounds, but typically I've lived places, fortunately, the past couple years where I can kind of see entire fireworks shows from my living situation. So anyway, I'm not super stoked this year for obvious reasons. I'm just kind of sad about kind of the state of our country, if I'm being honest. Here, I'll put a flash of time code on the screen. You can either mute or skip this part. I'm just going to kind of talk about my thoughts and feelings on the whole thing. And if you don't want to go into the doomer zone, mute or skip till that time code. So anyway, my theme I'm going with for this week, because the 4th of July is this week, is I'm just going to go with like national park and state park animals, because the big beautiful bill was originally going to include a lot of sale of our state and public lands. Fortunately, I do believe most of it has been taken out due to people's outcry, and it's just a shame that it was ever a consideration. There are a myriad of things going on that are just kind of a bummer. And then to see our public lands being used as just some way to make richer people richer is just sad, under the guise of public housing, which, I don't know. I'm not a politician, but I do know that it's just taking advantage of these spaces that are meant for everyone and that preserve our natural environment. And what makes our country so beautiful is these preserved spaces. So, I don't know, I don't want to harp on it too much because it bums me out, but I just wish that I felt more proud to be an American, I guess. Just kind of feels like right now I'm kind of holding on to a roller coaster seat that the seatbelt has come undone on, and I'm just hoping that by the end of the roller coaster ride, everyone is fine and we didn't just get Final Destinationed. I don't know, I have more to say. I'm just not a big political social media person. I don't have all of the answers. I just wish we cared more about each other and the land we live on and didn't just see everything as a dollar sign. And I know that money's important and you need to fund certain things, but I don't think it should be at the expense of people or our planet. But that's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. So enough of that. I'm just going to talk about the beautiful animals of this country. And I've got a little bison going here. I really like drawing bisons because they have a lot of interesting, funny shapes. I really like their big woolliness. Their skeleton makes absolutely no sense. I mean, it does, but it's like their skeleton disturbs me. The spinal part looks unnatural. It looks uncomfortable, but they're super cool to look at. I honestly can't believe that on a yearly basis there are still people being attacked by bison at Yellowstone. I just don't know how that happens. I mean, there's signs everywhere. I mean, you've clearly researched Yellowstone if you're going there, or at least looked it up. You're on social media. You not once have seen that happen to someone else, and you're still gonna go up to the bison and you're still gonna try and be the special person who gets the epic picture. I don't know. Maybe I'm built different. Maybe I watch those videos and think that could happen to me. Or maybe these people just literally they haven't turned on a computer and seen someone else get mauled by a bison, and I kind of envy them for that. Alright, so I'm going to draw a bighorn sheep ram. I don't draw these super often, and the way the horns are in their face, like goat faces, I don't practice too often. So I'm gonna give that a shot. And I'm kind of gonna fumble through figuring out how the hell this thing's put together. I have seen bighorn sheep off the side of the highway in Colorado, and apparently there are some in New Mexico. I didn't get to see any last time I went, so... But I have seen them in real life. They're pretty majestic. It feels weird that they're just out there, hanging out. Alright, so this sheep looks jank. I gave it my best shot, but I think I'm gonna go in and just cover her up, and I think I'm gonna try just cutting around the bison, because I think that'd be a cool effect, rather than trying to just put a square over it, because I don't want to cover up the bison. I think that turned out great, so let's just cut her out. Alright, I'm gonna take this cutout piece of the bison's head and just flip it to the other side. I think it'd be a cool use of the leftover paper and add to the texture of the spread, so. Alright, so I'm going to do that method I do where I take a lighter colored marker and I'm going to actually try and figure out how this sheep is put together. I'm going to put it over here. I don't think I like the space over on the right side. So I'm just going to figure out this sheep real quick. All right, now that I have the green lines, I'm just going to go back in with black and do a nicer outline of the sheep and see if I can't get it to look a little less freaky this time. Alright, so I think I got the sheep worked out. It looks a lot more like a sheep. It is a bit oblong or long in the face. I think bighorns are a little more squatty, but I did it. I got the general shape down. I really love how thick bighorn sheep's necks. How thick their necks are, because they're hitting each other in the head, so they have to have really powerful neck muscles to withstand the blow without, just toppling. So I wouldn't mind drawing that again as like the main character and kind of focusing on all those aspects I love about the sheep. Alright, so the next animal I'm going to draw, since the bison and the bighorn sheep are more national parky, the bighorn sheep can be a bit state parky. I'm going to go with another vulnerable land that was attempting to be sold, which I haven't done the latest check on the bill. But BLM lands, which is Bureau of Land Management, not the other BLM. These lands are typically lands owned by states that are still public land. They're managed by BLM. They can be used for ranching and the likes, but something that BLM is known for is the wild horses of America. So I'm going to draw some Mustangs. The BLM and the government technically own every wild horse on this continent, and they have to manage them, manage their populations, and they do roundups to thin out the herds, and they sell them off to adopters. Granted, they don't make a huge profit on this. You can get a Mustang anywhere from $20 to $100-something, give or take, based on, could be things like age, health, where it was taken from. They even have competitions of getting them tamed, or gennelled is the correct term. So anyway, but yeah, when we sell those, if you sell BLM land and use them for developing housing or quote-unquote affordable housing, who knows if it'd be affordable, or, strip mining it, you take away any ability for these animals to have space. And I mean, there's tons of arguments about whether or not they belong. That's up to you and your opinion, but for me, in my opinion, I think they are a cultural beacon, in my opinion. I do believe they need some management the same way white-tailed deer need management, because we've taken out a lot of predators. But I just think they're important for our culture and our history, and also very important to Native Americans of this country as far as their history and usefulness. So I think we should respect them and give them room to exist. But that's just my opinion. You can do your own research. I'm gonna do another Mustang up here just to fill out the space. I won't go off anymore about the land issue, because again, I'm not, I don't know, I've got thoughts and feelings, but I'm not gonna flood you guys with that. Alright, I'm gonna add a pronghorn. North America's only antelope species. Pretty cool, prehistoric looking animal. It has no real natural predators. It's the fastest land animal in North America. And they look kind of silly, and I'm definitely drawing it silly. I'm just trying to kind of fill space at this point, while also including a variety of animals. But pronghorn live mostly western and a lot of Midwest states like Kansas, the Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming. I believe in Wyoming they're commonly called stink goats or speed goats because they're stinky and fast, so. But I've seen them in Kansas, Utah. Actually, that's kind of the only place I've actually seen them in person. I don't think I've seen them in other spots in the wild. But I'll just be driving on the highway, and you can kind of see them out in the prairie. Pretty cool when you see one. I'm just going to add some landscape elements here in the back to fill out the space. I don't want to crowd it too much with too many figural animals because we're getting kind of cramped anyway. And a lot of this focus is also on my love of the land, so we're going to add some mountains that are full of lithium that I don't think anyone should destroy just to mine. And I'm gonna add a little sagebrush leaf here. I love sagebrush. It smells amazing. Very cool, kind of soft, slightly waxy brush. It does really well in drought, high desert areas. And animals love to eat it. The waxiness kind of makes them a little bit fatty, and they have a water content whenever there's a lot of drier stuff around it, so. Alright, and I'm gonna try and cram a fish in here. I do love fish, and I know a lot of contention in destroying our environment is to dam things up and suck up all the water, so I'm gonna put a salmon in here. Not really in its, like, rage out mating mode, just kind of a classic little, I want to say Atlantic salmon? I don't know. We have these salmon. They're also pretty similar looking to the Norwegian variety of salmon. Whatever. Doesn't matter. It's a frickin' salmon. We have them here in the country. They're an amazing fish. Very cool. Very amazing ecosystem builders. They feed so many species, are indicators of waterway health. And just what a cool animal. I mean, they just go make babies and die. What a life. I'm just gonna come in with a blue, make a little blue buffalo. I really like the weird pastel-y colors for outdoor stuff. I think it's reflective of native landscapes, which might seem dull, but if you've ever been to the desert and are just kind of looking at it, there's like tons of purples and pinks and blues all over the ground, but then also the sunsets are crazy. Anyway, I'm just going with blue. I think blue and yellow is like a classic outdoorsy combo in my opinion. Alright, so I'm going in with this yellowy orange marker. The paper's kind of yellow, so this can kind of play off of the existing yellow and then contrast this light blue pretty nicely and give extra, dimension and stuff. But also just looks cool, so. Come in and give a back color to this mane. I think it'd be a nice, additional depth that would set it apart from the white background. I'm just going to come back in with this green marker. I used it to outline this goat, but I think I'm going to fill it in a bit and then add it to some other places to distract from the fact that I did that. And then also make it, make both pages kind of come together in that way. So anyway, here's my national parks, state lands, BLM, whatever, just American animals in the land page. I appreciate you kind of sitting there listening to my mildly political rants. Again, I try not to be overly political, but it is it's just, we live in some upsetting times, and I don't know, I just wanted to draw some of the animals and nature that I love and think we should protect as Americans, but I also hope that other issues kind of end up okay. I know there's a lot more humanitarian issues that are actually affecting people that, I feel for everyone right now. But anyway, I hope you have an okay 4th of July. I hope you get through it. Surround yourself with people you love, and let's just celebrate loving each other as human beings who live on a very beautiful country. All right, I'll see you next week.